Hey, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to sow your onion seeds indoors. That's right. I got everything set up. If you are having trouble growing big onions, let me know in the comments because you're in the right place. I'm going to show you exactly how to get big onions just like this, especially if you're in zone 7 and up. You might be able to do it in zone 6, but I think you're going to have to cover your onions. All right, so let me go ahead and show you some of my secrets because it's guaranteed to work because it works for me. First thing, I use the Happy Frog potting mix. It works wonders for me, so that's why I stick with it. You can use whichever potting mix you like, but what I have is this strainer right here that I made, and I'll put a link in the video for you so that if you want to make it, you can. It's very, very simple to make. So all I do is put my potting mix right here, and I'm going to get some more, and I'm going to strain this out because in most potting mixes, it has a lot of debris in it, and I want to get that out because the seeds are so small, and if you have spotty germination, this right here is a game changer, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. All right, so the onion seeds are so small. Look at how big the chips are, the wood chips, and the debris is. All right, so if this goes on top of your seeds, chances are it's not going to be able to push these big chunks away. So this right here, once I've done this, this has been a game changer, especially with those tiny seeds for the fall. So that's why I like using my strainer because it gives me a great advantage. Now, some of the particles are going to slip through, but they're not big, not compared to these big pieces like I already showed you. All right, so that's why I do this. This is one of my secrets to get me to getting my seeds to germinate. All right, so I'm gonna continue with this, and then we're gonna go to the next thing and fill up our trays. Now look at all this that I removed. Now can't you see why this is a good idea, especially with the little tiny fall seeds like the onions? If this stuff lands on it, it's not gonna be able to push through that. So that's why it's a good idea to screen out some of the wood chips. And I'm not throwing this away. I'm gonna put this around my plants. And then once this breaks down, this is gonna be fertilizer for your plants. So don't get rid of this stuff. Just put it around your plants. All right, so now all I'm doing is filling the trays up with my mix. And this tray that I'm using is from Bootstrap Farmer. I love the trays. I have been using the trays for a couple years now. They're nice and sturdy. They're gonna last you a long time. And I'll put the link in the description of the exact kit that I bought because it has the dome as well. So it's a win-win. It helps me greatly, and I don't have to keep buying the trays over and over and over. But if you don't want to use these trays, you don't have to. You can use what you have available, but these will save you money in the long run. All right, so I'm almost done. So now I want to make sure that I push this down somewhat. So I'm gonna get my other trays that I purchased. I'm gonna push it down like that so I don't have to use my hand the entire time. That saves me some time. So I see the areas that I need to fill in. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and I'll get back with you for the next steps. All right, now that my tray is filled, I just want to bring you in close. You see that it's almost at the top, but not quite. I left a little space in between, and I'll show you why after we get the seeds in. Now, when picking your seeds, you have 3 different categories you want to be aware of. You have long day onions, which are from zone 6 and lower. Here you have intermediate onions, which are zones 5 through 7, and also you have short day onions, which can be from zone 7 on up. All right, so some of the zones, they can go either way, like zone 7. You just have to be aware of your location and your climate, but that's normally the 3. So the long day onions, you're gonna need anywhere from 14 to 16 hours of sunlight. Intermediate day, you're gonna need 12 hours to 14. And for short day, you're gonna need 10 hours to 12 hours so that they can get that bulb, that nice size that we want. So just be mindful of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to plant my onions. Now you can see that this has already been open. I used this last year, so the onion seeds normally don't keep as well. So I'm gonna overseed, and if I have more than one onion in the cell and it comes up, I'm gonna leave it there. If I see that it's a problem, then I may cut one, but I can get by with it. And this cell, this type of a tray is for 72 cells. And I said that I was going to show you the actual kit. All right, so this all came together, the dome, and the dome helps keep the moisture in. Now, I didn't used to use this in the past, but it helps out tremendously. And so that's why I'm continuously going to use it. And I ended up ordering more domes for my other trays. All right, so let's go ahead and get to seeding. All right, so I'm going to put more than one in here, and I do that anyway, just to increase my chances of getting the seeds to germinate. All right, so once again, if you think it's too many, then you can go ahead and just cut some of them out. But I don't want to waste a cell. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete this, and I'll get back with you shortly. Oh, and this variety is the Texas Early Grano. Those were the ones that I held up. They worked great last year, so I decided to do it again. This one is the red grano. All right, so I was not as successful last year. I got a couple, but they were not that big. And here are the new seeds that I'm going to try, which are the yellow Granex. But I'll be back so I can show you my trick that helps me. All right. Now all my seeds are in. I can see them right now. All I'm gonna do is wet it down a little bit. Now you could tell that my soil was dry when I was taking them out the bag and I was straining them to get all the heavy chunks of debris out the way. So this is how I wet them down before I use one of my greatest tips. Last week I seeded one of my trays, and I'm gonna show you that tray in a second because I was surprised to see what has already happened. It normally takes 10 to 15 days for it to germinate. I got a lot of germination going on over there. So what I use is my Vermiculite. I had to wait for the bag to come in because I ran out. That's why I didn't shoot the other video last time. So even though my seeds are visible, all I'm gonna do is take my Vermiculite and I'm gonna run it all the way down, and I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna use this as my soil because number one, this is so light that when it's time for those seeds to germinate, it's gonna push through. So this is why I use it, and it also holds in a lot of moisture as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and seed this down, and I'm gonna bring you in close so you can see how lightly I go over it. This right here has been a game changer for me because in the past I would put on too much of the soil and those seeds would not push through. But this right here, they push through very easily. And I use this for all of my seeds that are smaller, especially during the fall time. So you will be seeing a lot of this. So let me bring you in close so you can see what it looks like. So all I'm doing is grabbing a handful and I'm going all the way down the line and just filling in all the gaps, just covering it up. So that's why I leave a little bit of the top exposed when I brought you in earlier. I don't want to fill it up with the soil. I want it to come real close to it because this right here is acting as the soil. And like I said, this is a straight game changer because this is light and real fluffy. Now what I am going to do, I am going to wet it down to make sure that it stays on top. All I'm doing is coming back with the sprayer, spraying over top. Now if you want to soak water from the bottom, you can, but this right here has been working for me. And so the next thing that I'm going to do before I put the dome on it is I'm going to use some ground cinnamon, which I ran out of. I'm running low, so I'll just show you what it looks like. So all I'm gonna do is take the ground cinnamon, and I'm even gonna go on top of that, just like this, I won't be able to do all of it because I got to go to the store and get some more. I just want to show you what it looks like because I got to save some for my other tray. All right, so all I'm doing is putting it on here, and I'll tell you why in a second. Now, the ground cinnamon, it has antifungal properties. So when it gets moist under here and fungus may want to sprout up, this right here is going to stop it. So when you get the white fuzz on top, go ahead and sprinkle over top. And if you already have this layer over top of this, then it's going to help prevent some of that. So when you keep watering from the bottom and it gets this wet, it still may bring a little fungus up. But if I keep reapplying this, that's going to save my seedlings, and that's going to be a win-win for me. All right, so here's another reason why you should have your own seeds to start with seeds, is because that's going to increase your chances of getting a big onion. Because when you use those little onion bulbs, then chances are that's a second year onion. So they're going to be trying to focus on going to seed early. So your bulb may not be as big, and the varieties. So if I plant my own seeds, I can plant whatever I want. If I go down to the local nursery, if they already have the starts, then I have to use whatever they have. So when I go online, I could get whatever seed I want and grow whatever onion I want. So that's the win-win for having your own seeds. All right, so all I have to do now is put my dome over top. So I grab my dome, put it over top, and like I said, this right here comes in a set, and I'll put that down in the description. I will also link the vermiculite that I use down in the description as well if you want to try it. If you don't want to try it, that's cool too. But all this has worked for me. So let's go on over to my rack, which surprised me today, and let's see what I got growing over there. All right, my rack is a little junky. I'm gonna bring this out some. But if you can see real close, I did not know that they were bending over like that. So they're starting to push through all the way because I used the techniques that I just showed you. And since I just put them up under the light, the ones that's leaning over, they will eventually come back up. Look at the vermiculite that I use. I'm showing you everything that I use. All right, so let me push that back right there. So if you are struggling to grow those big onions, you may want to start now so that if you're in the area that you can overwinter your onion plants outside, that will be great. You could use the vermiculite over top to replace the soil. That'd be your soil if you are heavy-handed like the way I used to be able to do, and my seeds would not come up. That's a trick you can use. If you're planting your own seeds indoors and you always had trouble with your seeds getting overtaken by your fungus, ground cinnamon is your friend. I think I did an entire video on that. All right, so, and using the soil sifter, which I will put up here on this side, try using those. It's guaranteed to help you out. Do me a favor, if you like the video, go ahead and share this video with all the other onion growers or people who are having a hard time growing onions, and let's help them out so they can grow those big juicy onions. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Over here, over there. All right, bye.